Have you been trusting God for breakthroughs and answers, yet you are still stuck at square one? Just simply not seeing God do the things that he said he can do. 2 Corinthians 9 verse 8 says this, "And God will generously provide all you need. Then you will always have everything you need and plenty left over to share with others." Wow. This is his promise for you. So never forget that. He's not a man that he would ever lie. He's a good God that sticks to his word always. So just because you don't see his blessing doesn't mean he hasn't blessed you or is not in the process of providing or answering your prayers. There are typically two reasons that I have found why we don't see God's blessings. One, we are spiritually not positioned to recognize it, or we are physically not positioned to recognize it. Let's look at the first option, okay? Do you think it's possible that God actually has already provided that blessing or that prayer that you've been asking for, but that you simply need to position yourself spiritually so you can recognize it? Isaiah 55 verse 8 to 10 says this, "For my thoughts about mercy are not like your thoughts, and my ways are different from yours. As high as the heavens are above the earth, so my ways and my thoughts are higher than yours. As the snow and rain that fall from heaven do not return until they have accomplished their purpose, soaking the earth and causing it to sprout with new life, providing seed to sow and bread to eat." Maybe you've been asking God for more peace. Let's look at that as an example. You long for more peace in your world, and maybe due to horrible neighbors, a horrible atmosphere they create, you're asking the Lord for a new house. Consequently, you've been looking and even have put in a few offers. How lovely it would be to just move and have more peace, right? In a more family-friendly, peaceful environment. But every single deal falls through, or they counter with prices you can't match, or inspections fall through. Just the one thing after the next. And you go, "God, I'm not asking for much. I just want some peace and I need to move in order to have that. Please open this door for us. Please, God, can you just bless us in this way?" Meanwhile, I think God is sitting and looking and just shaking his head saying, "If you only know the heartache and the hardship that will come if you make a move now. I know what's happening next month or the month after with the house market. I'm protecting you. You do not want to buy a new house right now. Stay put and ask me so I can show you ways to love on those neighbors so their hearts can be changed towards you." This is just an example, right? Another example, I recently had a friend share with me that she received not just possibly one diagnosis, but 3. Now, she's gone and researched all 3 of those options and wanted to ask me to pray that it'll specifically be the one and not the 2 others. Now, even though my heart aches for her and I so badly wish I could wave a magic prayer wand and have that one specific diagnosis be it, the one that her heart desires, I can't do that. Well, I could pray for that, but I don't want to. Do you know why? Because her and I might think we know what's best for her, but God knows things we can never know. So instead, I choose to be still. Instead, I pray for her body to be made whole. I pray for any diagnosis that is from the enemy to be annihilated in her body, and I pray for her to find rest in him. See? This is why we need to learn to rest in him, to be unbothered when things don't go our way, because we have a Papa God that wants only his best for us, which sometimes is not our idea of best for us. Oh man, I just love that I can trust him. I'm so thankful that I know I can just rest in my Papa's lap and I can just throw things at his feet and knows that he knows better. If it's his will, bring it on. If it's not, keep it from us. Wow. And just to mention, in case you're wondering, sickness is never from God. Never. Sometimes God is blessing us in the ways we see as struggles. Sometimes we miss it. We see lack, he sees blessing. We see shortage, he sees abundance. We see sickness, he sees healing. We see struggle, he sees growth. So I really do believe that sometimes God has actually already provided the blessing we're asking for, or he's in the process of it when we think we are still waiting for it. We just need to position ourselves spiritually to see it. We need to start seeing things his way. That's my greatest prayer for you and for myself. Now let's look at the second option. The second reason why you might be feeling like you can't see God's blessing in your life. You might be physically positioned out of sight. Let me share this story with you. My parents live with us, and my mom has a beautiful garden right in front of her front door. And usually in the summer, when she's here with us in Canada, her rose garden is quite exquisite. So usually she would say to me, you have to come see the roses. You have to come see the sterlings. They're so beautiful right now. You should go see them. She has to remind me. Even though I live right there, I pretty much park my car in front of the garden every day, but still I tend to not see it. Life just gets so busy and it causes distraction. When I drive, I'm thinking, what am I doing next? What did I just do? Where do I have to go? And I forget to look at the beauty in the garden. But when she's here, when she comes and points it out to me, or she reminds me to go and look at it, that's when I will walk over there and go and see the goodness and will revel in it, and I will enjoy it, and I will marvel in it. But now my mom's not here. She hasn't been here to remind me, to point it out to me. So honestly, the garden could be in full bloom right now, stunning and gorgeous, and I could be completely losing out on seeing it and recognizing the beauty, because I'm not positioned physically in a place to see it. This is sometimes what we are doing with God's goodness and blessings. We have gotten so busy and distracted over these last years. Many of us have cut attending church in person out of our lives. Many of us have removed the gathering with brothers and sisters out of our schedules, using COVID as an excuse. But you know what? You might be physically removing yourself from actually seeing God's blessings. We haven't realized it, but many of us have removed ourselves from the people who will encourage us, who will remind us, who will call out the beauty, who will point God's goodness out to us so that we don't miss it. God uses people. So wherever you find yourself right now, ask yourself these questions. Am I spiritually positioned to recognize God's blessings in my life? Are you? And also ask yourself, am I physically positioned to see the work that He has done? I want to encourage you today to make sure you are surrounded with people that will remind you, people that will point Him out to you every single day. No matter how distracted you get, that person will be there to highlight His goodness and blessings to you every single day. We all need that.